Hola chicos, today we're going to discuss the tense that is called el pluscuamperfecto de subjuntivo. And every time when we're dealing with the subjunctive, you will remember that we're dealing with the hypothetical situations, right? So things that are hypothetical from the point of view of the speaker. In English, this tense is called past perfect subjunctive. So, in order to construct this tense, you will need to refresh two things. Number one, you will need to review the past participle, what it is, how it is created, and how you use it, and the most important, the irregular forms of the past participle for the irregular verbs. And then the second thing, you will need to review the verb haber. Why? Because the verb haber are used many times or every time when you see the name of the tense being perfect. Okay? So you're welcome to review the videos on this site or just to review the names of the grammatical concepts that will make this lesson more useful to you. So, el pluscuamperfecto de subjuntivo. All right. So, as I said, you need to review two things, and hopefully you did. The past participle, which is known also as the third form of the verb. To eat, ate, eaten. So that would be corresponding to eaten. To speak, spoke, spoken. So that would correspond to the spoken. To study, studied, studied. Yeah, so the studied will be the past participle. How do you create it? Very fast. There are three groups of verbs in Spanish: AR, ER, and IR. For this purpose, we're going to lump them into two groups: group number one, group number two. For the group number one, the verbs ending on AR, you are going to remove the AR from the verb and then to add ADO to the root of the verb. If it is hablar, you take the R out, and then to the habl, you add ADO, and then you have your past participle for the regular verb. All right, so for the verbs ER and IR, you add ido after removing the ending. Comer, vivir. To the com and to the viv, you add ido, and then you have the past participle for the regular verbs in Spanish, ending on er, ir. For the irregular forms, however, you need to memorize the irregular forms. Just like in English, eated does not exist, so you have to learn eaten, and it is irregular, and in Spanish there are some irregular forms as well. All right, done. Now we're going to the verb haber, our auxiliary verb that helps us to form that pluscuamperfecto de subjuntivo. Yeah. So in this case, we're going to have two forms of it. Both of them are correct, but the one that is in orange is more common by far. The second one in green, right here, it is completely correct. You will see it in books. It tends to be slightly more formal. It still exists, but it is not nearly as common. Okay, both of them, however, are correct. So, haber, it will be hubiera, hubieras, hubiera, hubiéramos, hubierais, hubieran. And it note that for the nosotros form, it will have the accent mark. And also note that the first and the third person forms coincide. It is the same. All right. So after we review these two concepts, let's proceed. Somebody saw a ghost. You remember how to say ghost in Spanish? The ghost is fantasma. and they tend to be very, very nasty ghosts, some of the ghosts that live in Spanish-speaking world. Okay, so you have here the short explanation when to use the past perfect subjunctive, and here are the examples. Si tú hubieras visto aquel fantasma, hermano. If only you had seen that ghost, brother. If only you had seen, hypothetical, because it's obvious that his brother or his friend that he's calling brother didn't see the ghost. And that's how you know si tú hubieras visto immediately gives you the idea that it is hypothetical. The next one, ojalá no lo hubiera visto él, ahora le da miedo. I wish he hadn't seen him. Now he's scared. So in this case, that hubiera tells you that somebody wishes it had not been seen, but it was seen. So again, it is a hypothetical situation. And that hubiera visto can be substituted by hubiese visto, as we saw on the previous page, right? Yeah, because this one is completely correct. So if you want to use that, you can, but it is significantly less common. All right, so let's see here. Si hubiera sabido lo del fantasma, no habría ido al cuarto. Had I known about the ghost, I wouldn't have gone to the room. But in this case, you actually could interpret it. If she hadn't known about the ghost, she wouldn't go to the room, or he. It's actually open to the interpretation. So the best, in the sentences like that, it's better to put who. But it is still completely correct grammatically not to put the subject pronoun in there. It is completely correct. All right. And then you have si ella hubiera venido aquí, habría visto el fantasma también. If she had came here, she would have seen the ghost as well. So it's clear that she didn't come here, that she didn't see the ghost. Again, we're dealing with the hypothetical situation in the past. Then finally, you can have just triggers of the subjunctive in the past, and they will be the same if they create the hypothetical situations in the past. Ellos dudaron que tú hubieras visto el fantasma. They doubted, and they doubted immediately. It is the trigger because it means they didn't believe. It is hypothetical that you had seen the ghost. Yeah. So in this case, also, as in all other cases with the hubiera, you could substitute it for hubieses. And it is completely correct, even though it is the last common. So I hope it was a clear explanation of this tense, that is the past perfect subjunctive. And if you need more examples or if you need more practice, please let me know, write to me on my channel, and I'll be happy to record a new video for you. Otherwise, ciao, pescado.